So I'm just going to show how to do the eyes for kathak, and I'm just going to use my group's colors, which is pink eyeshadow, but if it's any other color, then you can also use that. So I'll just tie my hair. And I'll start with the eyebrows. So I'm using a pencil, just a regular eyebrow pencil. It has a little brush at the end, so I'm going to use that to brush my eyebrows into shape first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the ends of my eyebrows. So I'm just going to draw like this, and you would kind of have to tailor this to however your eyebrow or your child's eyebrows are. For example, mine are pretty filled in up the front, but not very much in the back. So then I'm just going to fill it in using short strokes. You don't want it to be like one big line because it doesn't look right. And then I'm going to draw a line under the brow lightly to see if there's some shape, and then just fill it in the front. Like that. And you also, because it's for stage makeup, you want it to be pretty dark, but I'll still brush it up and through so the color goes through, and just make sure that you have dark eyebrows. And then I'll do the same for the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect because it just needs to be noticeable. But you want to make it darker than you normally would, especially because I have light eyebrows, so I have to do a little bit darker than I would do it if I was regularly doing makeup. And again, I'm going to go at the bottom, kind of fill in the front. And just make sure everything's even. Ooh, it broke. And then just brush through everything so the color is there. Also, what you can do, and what I'm not going to do it now, but I'll do it for the performance tomorrow, is you can buy eyebrow gel or clear mascara. This one was, I think, like $1 from CVS. And then you just brush it through, and then your eyebrows stay in the shape, and that's good for performance. So next I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. So I just used some eyeshadow primer. It's from the brand Wet n Wild. You can find it at CVS and Target. It's really cheap. It's good. What it does is that it like intensifies the color of the eyeshadow, and then it also makes sure your eyeshadow lasts a lot longer, which is really important. So I just put some of that on my eyelids. Now I'm going to use this palette, which is pretty pricey, but also something like the colors in it you can pretty much find anywhere. And I'm just going to take a brown shade for right now, even though the color of my eyeshadow is pink, and it's just I'm gonna put it right in the crease of my eyelid, which is right like here, where when you open your eye, it's like over there. And that just like, it helps to make sure that the eyeshadow blends and it doesn't look like you have a chunk of color on your eye. So I just put a little bit of that. And now I'm gonna take this slightly pink shade right here. And I'm gonna also put that in the same place where I put the brown. But I'm gonna make it a little bit more intense because I really want the color to show through, because this is the kind of pink that we want for the look. So then if you're doing blue, you would do the same thing. You would put in blue or you'd put in green, but I think for the most part, we're all doing pink eyeshadow this year. So keep going, keep blending. You wanna just, like a windshield wiper, keep going back and forth so that it blends and it's not just a streak of eyeshadow. And also, the more you put, obviously the more intense it'll become, and you want it to be visible from stage. So I'm just gonna keep going like this until I feel like I have quite a bit. So for now, that's enough. You can always come back and add more to that later. So now what I'm gonna take is the pink that I use on myself and my sister and anybody else who I do their makeup for. So it looks like this. It's this shimmery pink. The color is really vibrant, so I find it's really good for stage. It is from the brand NYX, which you can also find at CVS or Target, and it's in the shade Fireball, and it's just a single eyeshadow. So I'm gonna take a flat brush like this, just dip it in, tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna go and put it on my eyelid below where I put all of the other colors, and just kind of all over, and see that like pink is pretty intense. I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. So what I like about this one is that it is I mean, it's really easy, and like you don't even have to do the other stuff that I just did. If you just use this, it would probably be enough. So I'm gonna go in for more because, like I said, it needs to be very intense because this is stage makeup. It's not supposed to be party makeup. It's not supposed to be what you would wear to work or for school. It needs to be visible. So again, not the most perfect job, but does not need to be the most perfect job. And then I'll just go back with the brush I was using before and just blend out the edges of it. But that's pretty much good. It's very pink, it's very visible. So now I'm going to do the eyeliner as soon as I can find it. Okay, so right here. So I'm using a liquid eyeliner. It's better to do the top and the wing with liquid because it's much easier to work with. This is also from e.l.f. Also, again, Target, CVS. I think this is like $1 or $2. I find it works very well and it lasts. So the way to do this is you first want to line the top line, and if you're doing this for someone else, you want them to close their eyes, but you don't want them to clench their eyelids shut, because if they clench it, then it's still kind of shaking and then it's a little bit shaky. So just lightly close their eyes, and you just want to line as close to the eyelashes as you can. Just like that. So now you have it just a straight line. So you can do the same to the other side. Just a simple straight line. Doesn't need to be anything fancy yet. Now for the wing. So the wing needs to be, again, this is for work or a part of your school that you would normally do. It has to be a big wing, almost to the tip of your eyebrow, and you want it to be thick. So I'm just gonna draw a line. Towards tip of my eyebrow, and then bring it down like that. And see, it's very thick, it's very long, and that's how it should be. When I first started doing this, I think the mistake that I made was I did it the way I would do it for school or for like if I was going out somewhere, but it is not that kind of makeup. And you can make the line you did on your eyelid thicker too to match. Again, does not have to be the most perfect line. Nobody in the audience is gonna see if it's a little bit messed up. But you want it to be dark black eyeliner, and you want the wing to go really far up. So then again, you have to do it on the other side. And make it as similar as you can, but again, it's okay if it's not the most similar. And then just fill it in. And then make sure if you're doing this for someone else's makeup, especially like a little girl's, they should keep their eyes shut, because sometimes they open it, the eyeliner hasn't dried yet, and then it, like a line of black eyeliner gets to the top there and you have to redo the eyeshadow too, and that's very annoying. So make sure you keep the eyes shut until you're sure that the eyeliner's dry. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the eyeliner, the winged eyeliner on this side, so I'm gonna go back to my eyeshadow actually and just put on a little bit more just to make sure that it's still visible, because that is the one thing. You want to make sure the eyeliner doesn't cover up all of the eyeshadow. So that's done. So now you need to do the under eye, and so for that you should use a pen or like a crayon or just Godgel, because that works better for going under. And this also, if you're doing it for a younger person, they're not gonna like it. My sister hates it when I do it for her, but you have to do it, and you have to do it dark. It has to be noticeable. So then you just want to like lightly pull down here so that you can get to the waterline, and then you just want to color, and you want to make sure that it goes all the way in there. So go like that, and then you also want to connect it from down here to the wing you did up there. So you just go a little bit outside as well and make sure that it all lines up, because it needs to be very dark and noticeable. So then do it to the other eye and make it dark and noticeable. So this is pretty uncomfortable if you're doing it for someone else, but it has to be done. If it's too uncomfortable to go inside, you can always do it a little bit out under and outside if that's better, but you just need it to be very noticeable and dark. So that's done. And now mascara. I'm gonna use an eyelash curler. This isn't necessary, but I have very like eyelashes that just go out like that, and so it doesn't do anything. I have to put it up like that. So curl them and then put on mascara, a good amount, a lot of mascara, because you need the eyelashes to be visible even over all of the eyeliner and the eyeshadow. So you want to put on multiple coats of mascara. Again, it is uncomfortable for, you know, younger girls, but if it has to be done, it has to be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I've already done one coat of mascara. I'm gonna go back and do it again. So just if you're doing this for somebody else, you should have them keep their eye open and then ask them, go like this, put the wand right at the base of their eyelash and then ask them to blink down, and then it'll get on it. And you keep asking them to blink down and just brushing up the eyelashes, and that's the best way to do it for somebody else. And when you're doing it for yourself, get as close to the bottom of the lash line as you can to the base and wiggle the wand and go up. So you're going like that, and that way you're brushing out all of the eyelashes and getting as much product as you can. Try and use the darkest black mascara you can find, because it has to be visible above all of the other eye makeup that you have going. So this is the eyes finished, and it is just thick eyeliner, long eyeliner. It has to go almost to the edge of your eyebrows, and you need to have the really dark eyeliner in your waterline underneath. I didn't put on any mascara on the bottom yet because I'm going to do my foundation first, and I think that that's more comfortable for me to do it like that. I prefer doing the eyes before I do the foundation. That way, if I mess up on the eyeliner, I can wipe it off, and I'm not going to wipe off the rest of my makeup, and that also might be easier, especially if you're doing it for somebody else. It might be easier to do the eyes first. That way you can easily clean it up if you make any mistakes.